supply chain world. I'm Brooke Elliott, and I'm here to provide you with professional development tips and tricks. Hopefully, you've been watching the various episodes that we've put together for you, and I hope they've been helpful. And today's topic is going to be another simple, short, and sweet one so that you can easily and quickly implement it in the workplace and really honestly in your personal life as well. So let's talk about the art of listening. Now, this is for, say, anybody, really. You could be an individual contributor. You could be an up-and-coming leader in the organization. You could be a current leader in the organization. But let's face it, everyone can improve their listening skills. And this is an easy thing for us to pay attention to, right? So when you're talking to somebody else, I want you to take a pause and really recognize how you are reacting to that individual communicating with you. Okay, so are you really listening? And when I say listening, I mean, are you actually hearing what that individual is saying? Okay, and there's a difference, right? Listening is really just you kind of hear the words, you're listening to what they're saying, but hearing some means that you're actually you're empathetic and compassionate towards that individual and what they have to tell you, but you're really listening and hearing the message that they are delivering, okay? And that in turn should prompt you to then react, okay? And this is a simple, honestly, a simple thing that we should all practice in our daily lives, but it is also a very good coaching tool that we use as coaches, because if we're not really listening and hearing our clients, then we can't fully support them. We can't fully comprehend what their issues are, right? To bring them to the solution that is best for them. So it's crucial that we are listening and hearing what they are saying, okay? And so one way that you can show the individual that's communicating with you that you are actually hearing what they're saying is by making sure you pay attention, okay? Take a pause after they've finished communicating with you and acknowledge what they have said, okay? Maybe even acknowledge emotion that has shown up in the conversation and say something back to that individual, okay? You might, we all do, we all naturally are thinking as somebody's talking to us, and sometimes that leads us to say something. It might even have us interrupt them, but it leads us to say something that, say, we find is important based on what the other person is telling us, right? But the art of actually listening and hearing includes us being able to react and respond and acknowledge what that individual has said. Okay, so we're not just quickly coming back with something that we feel in comparison, or if we relate to what they say. It's really just acknowledgement. I hear you, or I really noticed your excitement in what you're saying, and I want to celebrate that about you, that you're really excited about all of that before we go into whatever we want to provide back, react with, right? It could be our own opinions, it could be the comparison, it could be our own experiences, etc., right? So it really is taking that pause and keeping ourselves from taking over the discussion. and really giving that person the space that they deserve, because when they're talking, they have something to say. They want us to hear them. And who doesn't like to be acknowledged? Who doesn't like to have the person on the other end show that they have actually been listening? They respect them, right? Because that is an element. When you listen and hear somebody, you're actually showing that you respect them and that you believe they have value to be given the space to say what they need to say. Okay, so, let's talk about, or let's think through situations and meetings. There should be a type of, operating agreement or rule of engagement for your team and organization that when you're in a meeting, everybody's respectful of each other's opinions and what they have to say. So there isn't a lot of, or any interrupting, talking at the same time. You're giving each other the space. So there are going to be people that talk really fast, and there are going to be people that talk slower. And regardless, we need to give each other that space, the time, and the respect for them to say what they are thinking. Now, if we're in a time crunch, obviously, then we as leaders, individuals, we can always say, I would like to be mindful of our time. Perhaps we can wrap this conversation up in the next minute. I would really appreciate that so that we can move on to the next thing, right? So there are appropriate ways to continue that respect in a meeting so that folks don't feel like, they were disrupted, or that people didn't have any interest in hearing what they had to say. Okay. So this is truly, it's again, everything that I provide in these professional tips and tricks, they are really practices that we all should incorporate in our daily lives, because oftentimes it's just not the natural reaction. Okay, so I hope this has been helpful for you. Again, remember that it is an art. Not everyone is skillful in this practice. It takes practice, it takes time, and it takes the recognition of where you are personally in this journey of actually listening and hearing people when they speak. Okay, looking forward to the next episode. I hope you all have had a fantastic week, and we will talk again next time. Bye.